we've been learning a lot about photography and just different photography techniques to really enhance the pictures that go in the yearbook. However, this year's been unique. We haven't gotten to take or look at as many pictures as I would have liked, just because we didn't really get to go to a lot of events and take pictures. But yeah, photography is one of the units we've been working on. And so I just thought, why not hear from, someone with a lot of experience in the industry?
Yeah, I'll just act like it was a newspaper photographer, and you have your editors and you have your photographers, and you're the editor of the yearbook, right? So the different editorial photography that, like newspapers, magazines, the basic category, you have your news, your features, sports, picture stories. Now this is from a nursing home. They're just got shut down and they're going to be homeless, I guess. So that's what this picture is. That's after a high wind struck Minnesota. A girl with her saved sparrow there.
Mr. Garcia, are these pictures you've taken?
Yeah, these are all that I've taken.
Okay, cool.
This is at ASU, actually. It was a national chess tournament there. And got a feature picture out of that. Basketball, this was published in the Best of Photojournalism book. Here's some protests. I'll just run through these quick. That's an aerial picture of a farm field. That's the Mesa Arts Center. Food pictures, I don't really shoot much food, but that's one of the things that, here's a ancient Bible silhouette. That's a found feature, just driving around looking for a picture. It's at a dog race. It's in Apache Junction. It's in a field. It's at Chandler. That's just a found picture driving around. Close up of a bee. Silhouette, that's at Phoenix. Most of these are all in Phoenix area. That's a illustrator. I shot that on a 4x5.
What is a 4x5? That's something that we don't know. We haven't really gotten our hands on any of the equipment.
Oh, okay. Well, 4x5 is the size of the film. It's like with the guys with the thing over their head looking through the old time camera. That's basically that. You have one film, a plate, a sheet of film, and you take a picture and develop it. You probably won't be using that. I suppose. Do you guys use 35 millimeter? Do you use digital? All digital?
I'll be honest, this year all photos were taken on cell phones, like no professional cameras. We have a few in my classroom that have been used in past years, but we weren't in person until about a month and a half ago. So the whole school was online. So a lot of photos were taken just with phones.
In camera it limits you somewhat, on your lens selections, which can be kind of important. Learning how to use a wide angle lens, your telephoto. Like this picture on the screen, that's with 200 f2, which blew out the background and kept just what I wanted in focus. That's with a 200, which is, a medium telephoto, I guess. That's with the telephoto. That's like with the 300. You could tell because the background is kind of out of focus, and what's important is in focus.
So do you use any like editing software for these?
Well, yeah, sure. Like Photoshop or GIMP, or on a Mac, I like Seashore, but just what comes with the computer. But most of these are just straight shots from that don't need much manipulation, as far as the editing goes. That I manipulated the background. I blacked out the background a little bit more than what it was, but other than that, most of that's just just a straight picture, So this was all. Those pictures were shot at the Mesa Art Center Day of the Dead celebration at the Olympic Fest. There's a wide angle. This is a celebration. This is with a telephoto too, with that blows out the background to keep what you want in focus there. Just action, something that's maybe not of the athletes, but I kind of like the short and tall aspect of it. Let's see. This was a thing that shot for the paper a while ago.
Give us some background on you a little bit.
Went to high school in Lidgerwood, North Dakota, which is my graduating class was like 50. Went to college at Minnesota State and started working at the student newspaper in college, and then got a job at a small paper in Minnesota. And that's that gave me the opportunity to shoot every day, to be out, and it's a good training without a doubt. But when I was an eighth grader, that's when I just started. My dad was an amateur photographer, good photographer. We had a dark room at home, and I kind of dabbled in it. But then when I went to college, I didn't get into really the newspaper part of it till I was a senior in college. Got a job there, and then for 20 years worked at newspapers. 15 at the Republic and the Gazette, and now I'm kind of retired, semi-retired. I do some freelance stuff, but
Okay, cool. Also, I didn't tell you this before the session, but we do have some questions prepared for you.
yeah,
Uh,
we could
do you
go
want
to
us to
them right
start
now.
that now or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great.
What equipment do you need to be a photographer?
You should have a camera that could probably have interchangeable lenses. And other than that, they're all high quality as far as megapixel and all that. That you don't need real fancy equipment. I use, most of these are with the digital Olympus digital or a film camera, Nikon or Leica or no Canon pictures, but they're good cameras too. This is something that has f-stops and shutter speeds that you can manipulate, can control. That's probably a good start.
So I'm interested in that too, because I actually have a photographer that's going to shoot our wedding, and she did like an engagement session, and she had like a whole backpack with a light, and one of her cameras like had a flash photography, the other one she used for something different. So are you saying that all of that isn't really necessary?
Sure, it depends on what your subject, what you're taking pictures of. If you're going to be shooting sports outside, you're going to need a telephoto, a longer lens. Now to shoot, say, like a wedding, you can almost shoot a wedding with a 50 millimeter. If you're just documenting it, just a normal lens. And but yeah, no, lenses are tools. You need lenses if you're going to, show more than an angle or to get a different perspective. Lenses, you should learn how to use those for sure.
What is your favorite picture and why?
My favorite picture, like this one, I like just because it was a big storm and there was something that had a little bit of emotion to it. But that's a tough question. I have a lot of favorites, I guess.
What all happened in this photo?
It was just a tornado, or not. I don't know if it was a tornado, but high winds just went through. This was in Minnesota, and it took down the barn. I knew it was storming out, so I went. I worked at the paper, and so I was driving around, and I came, drove up and found this scene, and that that ran.
Yeah,
in
it's a really
paper.
good photo.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome. It
But
tells a story for sure.
yeah, that's what you want to try and do is tell a story, storytelling pictures. That
Nice.
and good captions, the 5 W's.
What's your favorite spot to take pictures? Or where's your favorite spot to take pictures?
Anywhere new.
Do you like to
Favorite.
travel?
Yeah, I like to shoot travel. I was down in Mexico. Let's see, I've got those somewhere, but this is in Mexico, Mexico City, Mexico City. That's in Correas. But as far as favorite spot, yeah, I mean, it's always fun to photograph something new. And when you're just starting to take pictures, everything will be new. So I won't limit you could get good pictures anywhere if you're lucky enough, I guess.
Okay, great. Thanks.
What's like the best family or person you worked with when taking photos?
People usually are pretty receptive. I don't know if there's anything that really sticks out as far as a certain family or anything. I worked in a studio and people would come in. It's when you're shooting portraits of that people are gonna pay you for, they want to look good. So it's a editorial, being an editorial, shooting editorial, if they look like not real flattering, it depends on the situation. But if it's a news picture, it doesn't matter what they say. It's what tells the story of the situation. I always approach it sugar instead of vinegar, right? I mean, try not to be confrontational. Depends on the situation.
How long would you say you've been a professional photographer?
20 some years.
Okay, and what first sparked your interest? Was it your dad?
I don't know if there's a, I guess that helped. I made a lot of mistakes, and I didn't get chewed out or anything like that. But you improve. The more you do, the more you improve.
What's your least favorite part about being a photographer?
Depending on the situation, trying to take pictures of somebody that doesn't want their picture taken.
Trying to get photos of someone that doesn't want to take them?
Right. That'd be like if on a news story or something.
Have you ever dealt with rude clients, and if so, like what happened?
Yeah, I have. Not too often. I can't even remember a specific one where that happened. Usually, I don't like to sneak pictures necessarily or anything like that. Like if people say they don't want their picture taken, and I usually respect that, unless it's a news story or something. But I start out as, friendly at first, and if they want to be, just go from there.
like I said, I have a friend who's a photographer, and she said one of the rudest things that has happened to her is she was photographing, I think it was for like a graduation or something, and the mom of the daughter she was photographing said she didn't like any of her photos. So like she just said, sometimes being criticized, you have to have thick skin because not everyone's going to like your work.
That's
So would
right.
you agree with that?
Oh yeah, for sure. And especially if you're shooting it for, a situation like that where it, it's not editorial. If it's editorial, if the person has his mouth open or something weird, if it's newsworthy enough, they, won't hear any. But yeah, privately, they say, if you flip the negative or flip the picture, reverse it, then they'll look at the picture and it'll be like they're looking in a mirror and they'll like the picture better.
Oh yeah.
I don't-
Um, we skipped a really good one. I think it's because someone was absent. But have you ever photographed any celebrities before?
oh yeah, yeah. Got a lot of sports figures. I have a friend that just loves any celebrity. He'd be on, a paparazzi if he could. But most of, it depends on the person. Most have been are all right. If you ask them, Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard, they were behind, and I just asked to take their picture, and they take a couple pictures and then get out of there. That's as long as you don't try and waste their time too much. I think they don't have a problem.
Do you enjoy traveling to take these pictures?
Traveling, it's always fun to visit new places, experience different cultures. Now, driving, if you have to drive 2 hours, I had a job up, assignment up on the Navajo reservation of a medicine man, and we had to drive these back roads for like hours to get to, that's not, fun traveling, but that's the way it goes, I guess, huh?
Did you have to go to school to be a photographer? And if so, how long?
I took a class, but I have a Bachelor of Science in industrial illustration, I guess. It's kind of a graphic arts type of thing, but I got the jobs by working at the student newspaper and building a portfolio from that.
So it's kind of like a show of your work.
Yeah, like if you're going to try and put together a portfolio, like 20 pictures or 10 pictures and try and show a variety of things, different subject matter, people, just whatever makes a good picture, whatever you're into. There's so many different kinds of photography that, photojournalism or whatever, it's just one small part of it. So you just gotta, shoot what you feel like shooting to and see how it goes. See if you like it.
What advice do you have to anyone wanting to pursue photography as a career?
Just make a lot of pictures, read a lot of things, and maybe network if you find a photographer that has experience and stuff, if you could learn from them. I don't know if there's you could go to photography school, but that's that could be expensive. Or if you just go to Arizona State, working at the student newspaper would be, if you're looking for an editorial type of thing. Although, newspapers they're not having as many photographers. If you could shoot video and if you can write, they'll give you what a lot ahead. Writing, it depends what if you can write and take pictures, you're probably pretty good gonna get jobs and stuff. And video nowadays, TV stations are always hiring, it looks like. Newspapers, not so much.
What do you enjoy taking pictures of the most? Like, what's your favorite thing to take pictures of?
People, I'd say, how people, react, or more so than like architecture, I which is good too. That's one thing about a newspaper photographer, or is you have a whole wide range of subject matter. And it should be, with the same with the yearbook. Like, if you're looking for something to photograph, let's say, shoot a picture of someone or something you love, shoot a picture of something or someone you hate, at the school.
Yeah, like you mean like to be inclusive and kind of step out of your comfort zone, take pictures of things you wouldn't or of people you wouldn't necessarily hang out with every day.
Yeah, I mean, however you want to, say love and hate. If you could show that, try and show that a picture of someone you love, try and show that as
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
you're welcome, no problem. I'd love to see some of the pictures, that sometime, I'll tell you what I think of them or whatever, or not. I don't
Yeah,
have to
sure.
comment on them.
I can email you some. That's no problem.
Sure, that'd be great. I mean, but that sounds like could be a good project. It's just a lot of stuff, a lot of pictures happen at school, or you don't have to be in school to take the pictures. Whatever you feel like
Yeah.
taking a picture of. If it's a good
Yeah.
picture, it'll be used. You can always describe the things in a caption if it's a kind of a weird picture, or if it's an unbelievable picture, or if you join two pictures together or something like that. You should explain that in a cut line. Just be honest about it. Yeah.
Yeah, this year it was tough to get, like a lot of big events got canceled, but
Oh
I
yeah.
do think the yearbook's going to be really cool this year just because it's such a unique year. We've got students that submitted photos of like their at-home workspace
There you go. Yeah.
or, volunteering with masks on. So it might not be so fun to look at next year, but 10 years from now, it'll be something pretty incredible to look back at that we lived through that or through all of
Exactly
this.
right.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for inviting me. I kind of was winging
Yeah.
it today, but
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you for your
Mr. Garcia.
time.
you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.